It's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Your phone buzzes. One of your DSPs just called out of the 6 a.m. shift at Maple Home. You need someone there in 4 hours, or you're out of ratio. So you do what you always do. You open your contacts and start the phone tree. First person doesn't answer. Second person is already working tomorrow. Third person picks up but can't make it. Fourth person, straight to voicemail. By the time you find someone, it's 4 a.m. You've been up for 2 hours, and you'll do this again tomorrow. Because this isn't a bad week. This is every week. I know, because I was that person. For years, I was the one getting those calls, driving to homes at 3 a.m., burning through my contacts list while my family slept. If you're a program director at an IDD agency, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This video is going to show you the tool I wish I'd had back then. Let's talk about what this chaos actually costs, because as PDs, we're so deep in it that we never stop to add it up. You're spending 10 to 15 hours a week on scheduling. That's not an exaggeration. That's a third of your work week, spent on a spreadsheet, instead of supporting your homes and mentoring your staff. When someone calls out and you can't find coverage, the person who stays is now on overtime. At $20 an hour, that overtime shift costs you $30. One preventable OT shift per home, per week, across 8 homes, that's over $2,500 a month you're burning. And here's the one that keeps us all up at night. A staff member's CPR expired 3 weeks ago. Nobody caught it because it's buried in a binder somewhere. They've been working shifts. If the surveyor finds that, it's a deficiency citation. In some states, it's worse than that. You're managing all of this with spreadsheets, paper binders, group texts, and somehow you're making it work. But making it work has a price, in dollars, in burnout, and in risk, and it's higher than most agencies realize. My name is Marcus. I'm a former DSP. I moved up to supervisor, then to managing programs across multiple homes. I worked the overnight shifts, covered the call-outs, dealt with the binder scrambles before surveys. Every software tool I found was either built for hospitals, priced for enterprises, or completely clueless about how group homes actually work. None of them knew what a sleep shift was. None of them understood home-based staffing ratios, and none of them cost less than a second mortgage to get started. So we built DSPsystem specifically for IDD group homes from the ground up. Not adapted from restaurant scheduling, not simplified from a hospital platform. Built for this industry, by people who've lived it. And here's the thing I'm most proud of. Your staff won't need training. If they can use a phone, they can use this. No manuals, no training sessions. It's that simple. Let me show you the back end first. When you log in, this is your command center. As a PD, the first thing you need to know every morning is, are my homes covered? What needs my attention right now? Right at the top are the most urgent items. Call-outs, staff not clocked in, uncovered shifts for the next 7 days, pending time off requests. As they happen, they all surface here. Below that are your key performance indicators: coverage rate, staffing levels, overtime, no-shows, and holdovers. And these are the items that need your attention but aren't emergencies. They're indicated by color. Amber for expiring certifications. Red for overdue compliance items. These are the things that used to require 3 phone calls and a drive-by to figure out. Now they're right here. See this Right Now panel? This shows you who's clocked in at which home, right now, in real time. No more calling a supervisor to ask, did Destiny show up? You can see it from your couch. Coverage rate across all homes. The activity log shows everything happening in real time. Clock-ins, call-outs, shift assignments, checklists, compliance logs, everything you care about. Let's go to the Homes menu. Here are all your homes. 3 in this demo: Maple Home, Oak House, Pine Lodge. Let me click into Maple Home. Every home is its own world in DSPsystem, because that's how it works in real life. Your Maple Home runs differently than your Oak House. Here you see all the staff working in this home, whether they're primary or not, whether they can pick up shifts, and whether the auto-shift offer system can send them offers. Here are all the shifts for this home: awake overnight, day shift for weekdays, day shift for weekends, evening shift for weekdays, and evening shift for weekends, all with minimum and maximum required staff counts. Each one can be configured as an 8-hour shift, a 12-hour shift, or a live-in shift, whatever your home requires. These are shift events. Shift events are like reminders built into the app for staff on the shift. It's like we're setting your staff's phone reminders for them, for important recurring tasks like medication events. The app fires a notification depending on the level. High is a standard notification. Critical is alarm style. You can set these up for every shift, and they update in real time. These are compliance items specific to this home. If you run 8 homes, you see this for every one. These are compliance templates that come with the platform. You can edit them, delete the ones you don't need for specific homes, or add your own. If you need documents that staff need to acknowledge for this specific home, like an emergency response plan for emergency preparedness, you can add the link here. Your staff will read it on their app, acknowledge it, and that acknowledgement gets included in your reports. These are operations items, like checklists for this home, per shift. You can edit them, add new ones, or remove what you don't need. Let's look at the staff list page. Here, you can see all your staff at a glance. This is where you manage staff accounts. You can get a good picture of their availability, certification status, and reliability score. That's calculated from their performance statistics to give you a quick read. Let's see what the staff detail looks like. This is their overview. Scheduling shows the homes they're assigned to. It could be more than one home, as you cross-train staff for shift pickup. You can configure their shift availability, and they can configure this themselves from their own app profile too. Their PTO balance. Their performance statistics. This is where you add or remove certifications for each staff member. These are the platform templates, but you can add or remove them as needed. Now let's talk about the thing that eats your weekends alive, the schedule. This is your scheduling calendar. Every shift for each home, color-coded by shift type. These are your open shifts. This is where you handle call-outs and fill open shifts for the week. By default, it shows 1 week, but you can extend it to however long you need. This is the auto shift offer status. It will save you so much time. We'll come back to it soon. This is your staff view. You can see a lot of information at a glance. Who's clocked in, who's approaching or already in overtime, what shifts they're assigned to, and which home they're working at. This is the homes view. You can see all your homes and shifts together. This is the bird's eye view of everything. Day shifts, evening shifts, nights, awake overnight, and yes, sleep shifts, live-in shifts, and on-call shifts. We built those as first-class shift types because that's what group homes use. Try finding a sleep shift in When I Work. And time off. This is where you review time off requests. This scheduling system was built from the ground up for IDD group homes. See that awake overnight shift? It carries over from the previous day, displayed correctly. Sounds obvious, but most scheduling tools get this wrong for 24-hour care environments. Instead of rebuilding your schedule from scratch every period, you set up templates. Watch this. I'm creating a recurring day shift for Maple Home, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., requires 2 staff. Look at those shift types. Every one of those exists because a PD told us they needed it. I set it to recurring, weekly, select the days, and I hit generate. Shifts appear on the calendar, ongoing. What used to take an entire Sunday now takes about 60 seconds per home. You can see the progress of the shift, the staff working it, the shift events. You can also assign or remove staff right from here. Let's go back to the Open Shifts tab. All open shifts across all homes. Every coverage gap is visible before the week even starts. You don't discover it at 2 p.m. on Thursday when nobody shows up. When you assign staff, the system shows who's available, who's already scheduled, and, this is the part PDs love, who's approaching overtime. That amber warning means this person is at 40 hours. Assign them, and they're in OT. You see that before you make the call, not after payroll runs. All right. This is the feature that changes everything. This is what I wish I'd had during every 2 a.m. phone tree I ever worked through. It's called Auto Shift Offer, and it's the reason most PDs tell us they signed up. Let me walk you through exactly how it works, step by step. A DSP calls out. Let's say Carlos can't make his day shift at Maple Home tomorrow. The call-out gets logged right in the app. Date, shift, reason, timestamp. Everything documented. No more, I think he texted me last Tuesday. It's all here. As PD, you review the call-out. You can approve it, deny it, or hold it. But here's where the magic happens. With Auto Shift Offer enabled, the system can kick in the moment a call-out is submitted, before you even look at your phone. Let me show you the settings. You configure this once, and it runs on autopilot. First, the trigger. You can set it to fire automatically when a call-out comes in, with an optional delay, or you can trigger it manually, your choice. The contact strategy. This is where it gets smart. 3 options. All at once. Notify every eligible staff member simultaneously. First one to accept gets the shift. Fastest coverage. Batch. Send offers in groups of 3. If the first batch doesn't respond within the expiry window, the next batch goes out. Controlled, but still fast. Sequential. 1 at a time, priority order. Primary home staff first, then staff with the lowest overtime hours, most targeted. Day window. How far ahead the system looks for open shifts. Urgent threshold. If a shift starts within 60 minutes, the system uses a shorter wait time, so offers go out faster. Quiet hours. So your staff aren't getting pinged at 3 a.m. for a shift that's 2 days away. And here's the setting that blew my mind when we built it. Auto approve on coverage. When someone accepts the shift offer, the system can automatically approve the held call-out. The whole cycle, call-out to coverage, happens without you touching your phone. And on the Open Shifts tab, this is the live status view. You can see every active shift offer process. Which shifts have pending offers, who's been contacted, who's accepted, who's declined, or expired. Complete audit trail. When the surveyor asks, how did you cover that shift? You show them a report generated from this. See the staff list? The system tracks every interaction. Let me paint the picture. It's 2 a.m. Carlos call out he can't make his morning shift. The system sees the call out, waits 5 minutes in case it's a mistake, then sends offers to the 4 eligible staff members. People assigned to Maple Home, not already scheduled, not approaching overtime, certifications current. Staff sees the notification on their phone. Open shift at Maple Home. They taps accept. Shift filled. Call out auto approved. You wake up, check the app over coffee, see it's handled. That's auto shift offer. That's the 2 a.m. problem. Solved. If what you've seen so far solves a problem you're dealing with right now, there's a link below to request a free demo. We'll walk you through it with your actual homes and staff. But there's more. Let me keep going. Let's talk about time and attendance, because this is where agencies lose money they don't even know they're losing. And it's where EVV compliance is heading. Staff clock in and out right from the app, with GPS verification. The system captures who clocked in, where they were, and when, which is exactly what electronic visit verification requires. Who, where, when. Captured automatically, every shift. If your state is moving toward EVV for group homes, you're already ready. At the end of a pay period, time cards are automatically generated from clock-in records. No more collecting paper timesheets. No more manual compilation. Look at this. Regular hours, overtime hours, already calculated. You can see overtime at a glance before payroll runs. Your supervisor reviews and approves. Your manager gives final sign-off. 2-level approval. No more who authorized this overtime. Then you export directly to your payroll provider in their respective CSV format, ready to upload. What used to take your operations director an entire day every 2 weeks, compiling timesheets, checking math, chasing down missing hours, now takes 20 minutes. This is the section that will make your compliance lead breathe easier. Every home has its own compliance items. Fire drills, medication log reviews, safety walkthroughs, license renewals. Each one has a required frequency and a last completed date. The system tells you what's current, what's due soon, and what's overdue. See that red indicator? Overdue compliance item. You know about it before the surveyor does. Now look at staff certifications. CPR, first aid, medication administration, crisis prevention, all tracked with expiration dates. Green means current. Amber means expiring soon. Red means expired. Every staff member, every certification on one screen. When the surveyor asks, "Show me your staff credentials," you don't dig through a binder. You pull this up from the reports page. It took you 10 seconds. Emergency preparedness. Kit inventories, drill schedules, staff plan acknowledgements, everything the surveyor might ask about in one place. And here's the part that ties it all together. When AutoShift Offer finds coverage for a call-out, it only contacts staff whose certifications are current. You'll never accidentally put an expired staffer on a shift. Scheduling and compliance are connected, because in real life, they always were. Operations. You can see maintenance requests, checklist status per shift per day, and all supply tracking here. DSPsystem has 14 built-in reports organized into 4 groups, and the first one is my favorite, Survey Readiness. This is the Surveyor is at the Door tab. State Inspection Packet. One click, and you've got a printable packet with everything they'll ask for. Staff credentials, training grid, compliance summary, all exportable, all current. Staffing and scheduling. Payroll and hours, overtime analysis, shift coverage, shift log. Time and attendance. PTO balances, time off usage, call-out patterns. Compliance and safety. Home inspections, compliance calendar, policy acknowledgements. Every report exports to PDF with one click. When the surveyor walks in unannounced on a Wednesday morning, you pull up the state inspection packet, hit print, and hand it to them. 10 seconds. No more spending a weekend assembling binders before an audit. Let me show you what your staff see, because this is where most scheduling software fails. If your staff can't use it, it doesn't matter how good the admin side is. The staff side can be accessed on a computer or on the iOS or Android mobile app. We strongly recommend the mobile app because it has more features, like reminder push notifications and alarms. Let's start with the web version. This is the staff view. Clean, simple, just what they need. The overview page. On both the web app and the mobile app, staff need to clock in before they can see any shift-related information. If they're not clocked in, they can't see it. To clock in, they go to the time clock and tap Clock In. If they're scheduled for a shift, they just press this button and they're clocked in. That's it. If they're not scheduled, for whatever reason, they can manually clock in, but the time card will need to be approved by the PD or manager on the admin side. Once they clock in, they'll see their shift events, compliance items, and operations items, like home compliance and emergency preparedness. The only thing they don't need to clock in to see is the status of their certifications. They can submit maintenance requests, they can complete checklists, they can send and receive messages and notifications, they can see available shifts if they want to request a pickup. They can see their PTO and sick leave balance and request time off. And from their profile page, they can configure their weekly availability for shift pickups. That's it. No clutter, no confusion. I've watched DSPs open this app for the first time and start using it immediately. No training session, no manual. Just open it and go. In an industry with 45% turnover, that matters, because every hour you spend training a new hire on software is an hour they're not on the floor. And when a DSP has a choice between an agency where scheduling is a confusing group text or one where they open an app and everything is clear, they pick the app. That's a retention advantage you can't buy. Let's open the mobile app. It's even easier. It's an exact mirror of the web app, but even simpler to navigate. No explanation needed. And it has extra features for AutoShift Offer. The mobile app can use push notifications and alarms to notify staff instantly. How simple is that? Let me talk about pricing, because I know that's the first question, and I want to be upfront about it. DSPsystem Standard is $79 per home per month. That gives you scheduling, GPS clock-in, compliance tracking, and messaging. Pro is $159 per home per month and adds certification tracking, AutoShift Offer, advanced reports, shift checklists, emergency preparedness, and payroll approval workflows. Let me put that in perspective. If you run 8 homes on Pro, that's $1,272 a month. Enterprise solutions want $5,000 just to get started, and they still don't have auto shift offer. But here's the real math. One avoided overtime shift per home per week saves you about $80 in OT premiums. Across 8 homes, that's $640 a week, over $2,500 a month. The software more than pays for itself in overtime savings alone. Everything after that, the hours your PDs get back, the compliance confidence, the staff retention, that's pure upside. And look at this. Generic tools like When I Work, no compliance tracking, no certification enforcement, no auto shift offer. Enterprise tools, 6-month implementation. DSPsystem, set up in 15 minutes, $79 per home. Purpose-built for your world. And if you sign up for a year, there's a 2-month discount. That brings standard down to $55 per home per month, and Pro down to $111 per home per month. Here's what makes us different from every software company that's going to hand you a login and say, figure it out. When you sign up, we set it up for you. You send us your home names, your shift types, and your staff roster. We configure your entire organization, homes, templates, schedules, staff accounts, so that when you log in for the first time, you see a fully working system, not an empty dashboard. White glove onboarding, because you already have enough on your plate. Every new account starts with a free 14-day pro trial. No credit card, no contract, no setup fee. If anything you saw today sounds like a problem you're dealing with, the 2 a.m. phone calls, the spreadsheet scheduling, the compliance binders, the payroll headaches, here's what to do next. Go to DSPsystem.com and click Request a Demo. We'll walk you through it with your actual homes and your actual staff. Or if you want to explore right now, there's a live demo you can log into. I'll put the link in the description below. We built this because we lived it. Every screen you just saw exists because a PD, a supervisor, or a DSP had a problem and needed a solution. And we'd love to show you how it works for your homes. Thanks for watching.